Good morning, my dear friends. Did you know that just recently an announcement was made about a revolutionary change that could increase your pension by as much as 61% without paying even a single penny of tax on it? I know it sounds unbelievable. You might think this is a joke, or just some kind of clickbait headline you see on the internet. But I want to assure you right from the start, this is real information, based on actual rules, and it can completely change your financial situation in retirement if you understand how to use it. My name is Name, and for more than 15 years I have been helping seniors all across Poland maximize their retirement benefits, navigate the complicated system, and make sure they get every single payment they are entitled to. Over those years I've seen hundreds of cases where people were living on the bare minimum simply because no one had ever told them what they could legally apply for. Today I want to share with you information that could literally be worth thousands of zloty every single year. The truth is, most pensioners in Poland are not aware that there are completely legal ways to significantly increase the amount they receive each month. The pension system in our country is not just one flat payment. It is a complex network of different entitlements, supplements, allowances, and benefits. Some of them depend on your health, some depend on your family situation, some are related to your housing costs, and some are connected with your past work or even with the sacrifices you made decades ago. The sad reality is that the social insurance institution is required to pay out all of these benefits if you qualify, but it rarely tells people about them directly. Unless you know what to ask for and how to ask, many of these options remain hidden. Imagine for a moment that instead of worrying every single month about whether your pension will cover the rent, the electricity bill, and the rising cost of groceries, you could calmly plan a holiday trip. Imagine having enough left over not just to cover your basic needs but also to help your grandchildren, to buy them books or pay for their classes, or to finally do something you had been putting off for years. That is not a fantasy. It is possible if you know how to properly use the system that already exists and was created for you. In this talk, I will explain clearly what this 61% tax-free increase actually means, where it comes from, and why it is so important. More than that, I will show you. And if you find this information useful, and I'm confident you will, then I ask you to please leave a little gesture of support under this video, because it helps me reach more seniors who also desperately need this knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe as well, so you don't miss my next videos where I will cover new benefits, bonuses, and ways to increase your pension. And remember, sharing this video with your family, your friends, or even your neighbors is not just kind, it's a responsibility. Financial knowledge is the key to dignity in old age, and sharing it is something we should all take seriously. Now let's go right to the beginning. What does a 61% tax-free increase actually mean? When we talk about tax-free pensions, we mean those payments that you receive without any income tax being taken away. Every zloty goes directly into your pocket. This is a massive difference compared to the standard pension, where income tax is deducted before you ever see the money. Over the last 20 years, the Polish pension system has gone through many reforms, but most seniors do not understand all of its details. That is completely understandable. The regulations are complicated, they change often, and the clerks at the office do not always have the time or the patience to explain every little possibility. This is why there are so many misunderstandings, and why so many seniors end up not receiving benefits that should already be theirs. The very first thing you need to understand is the difference between the basic pension and the additional benefits. The basic pension is the monthly amount you get based on the contributions you paid while you were working. But that is not the end of the story. You are also entitled to a wide range of additional payments, supplements, allowances, and discounts. Unfortunately, most seniors either do not know about them, or they don't know how to apply. One of the most important but also least known benefits is the veteran supplement. If you or your spouse participated in war activities, fought in uprisings, were imprisoned for patriotic activity, or contributed in any way to Poland's independence, you are entitled to this supplement. And the entitlement does not stop there. Widows and widowers of veterans can also receive it. The amounts can be significant, ranging from a few hundred zloty to several thousand each month. Another very important category of benefits is related to disability. And here I must stress something, it is not only for people with an official legal disability status. If you have health problems, Let's now talk about something extremely relevant in today's economy, the housing allowance. Electricity, gas, and water bills are climbing at an alarming pace, while pensions are not keeping up with inflation. The housing allowance is a benefit that can cover a large part of these costs. But in order to receive it, you have to apply and meet certain income conditions. The problem is, many people don't realize that not every form of income is counted for the purpose of this allowance. That means your actual income for the application may be lower than you think, and you may already qualify without knowing it. I also want to touch on a delicate but very important topic, benefits after the death of a spouse. I know this is painful, but if you lose your partner, you may be entitled to a survivor's pension or to choose between your own pension and the survivor's pension, whichever is higher. On top of that, there are even cases where benefits can be combined, and very few widows and widowers know about this. That can mean a difference of several hundred or even more than 1,000 zloty every month. So how do you actually start maximizing your pension benefits? The first step should always be a careful review of your own situation. I strongly recommend that every senior do a full check of their benefits at least once a year. Your life circumstances change. New health issues appear. The law changes. New benefits are introduced. When you go to the social insurance office, don't just ask one question and leave. Prepare a list of all your problems, needs, and life circumstances. Ask specifically about each possible benefit. Remember, the official is required to give you complete information, but sometimes you need to ask the right question to get the right answer. Don't be shy about asking. Don't think something is not for you. The pension system was created for you, to ensure you have dignity in old age. Another key element is proper medical documentation. If you have any health problems, visit your doctor regularly and make sure every issue is officially recorded. These documents may be crucial when applying for different benefits. Don't underestimate any problem. Even small issues can become worse over time, and they can form the basis for receiving extra support. Let me share some real examples. I recently met Mrs. Christina, a 72-year-old pensioner who had been receiving only 1,800 zloty for years. She thought that was all she could ever get. But after a detailed analysis of her situation, we discovered that she qualified for a care supplement because of her back. I could tell you hundreds of stories like this. Mr. Stanislaw, a former soldier, went 20 years without knowing he was entitled to a veteran supplement. Mrs. Maria paid full price for her medicine for years, not realizing she qualified for reimbursement. Mr. Kazimierz paid his entire housing bill himself without claiming the housing allowance that was rightfully his. In every single one of these cases, the problem was not a lack of entitlement but a lack of information. The pension system can look complicated, but its main purpose is simple, to provide seniors with a dignified life. Every single supplement and benefit was designed to help. And here is something else you should know, your rights do not always expire immediately. If you find out that you should have been receiving a benefit but didn't, it is often possible to claim back payments for past months. Yes, there are deadlines and rules, but it is worth checking every case individually. Now, let's address something very practical, how to deal with offices. I know many seniors feel stressed and frustrated when they have to visit ZUS or any other office. Let me give you some practical advice. First, always go prepared. Take a list of questions, gather all your documents, and if possible, bring someone with you who can support you. Second, don't be discouraged by the first refusal. Sometimes it helps to come back, to speak with another clerk, or to file an appeal. Third, use the support of senior organizations, many of which offer free advice on pension matters. All this knowledge I'm sharing with you today comes from years of experience observing the pension system in Poland. I have seen far too many older people living in unnecessary poverty simply because they did not know their rights. I have also seen how dramatically someone's life can improve once they learn about the benefits they qualify for. That is why sharing this knowledge is so important. Each of you who watches this video and uses this information can not only improve your own life but also help others, your family members, your neighbors, your friends. That is the true power of community, supporting each other, sharing knowledge, and helping those who need it most. Remember, Old age is not a sentence to poverty and suffering. It can be a time of peace, of fulfilling dreams, of enjoying your grandchildren, of traveling, of exploring hobbies. But for that to happen, you need financial security. And much of that. This talk is only the beginning of your pension education. I encourage you to keep looking for information, to keep asking questions, and to be active in protecting your financial future. The knowledge is there, and it can change your life.